Alright guys, how is it going and welcome to a new video guys. Today I am back on the tier list. I am loving these videos at the moment. They are so simple to do and I haven't done them all either before, or as far as I know anyway. So it's really fun to like rank different things. The last video I did that was a tier list one, which was the like opening scenes. That was a tier list that I actually made. So, you know, finding different ways of using this website is very good for content. So if you do have any suggestions of tier lists or ranking videos that I could do, let me know down in the comments below, because there's a very high likelihood that I'm going to be able to like get it done very quick. So yeah, today's video is going to be us ranking the Halloween actors and their performances as Michael Myers. So as you can see here, I've kind of changed like the rankings. So we've got the best being The Shape. Then we've got an almost perfect, and it was okay, a not great, and a terrible one. Now, the terrible one's interesting to me because I don't know if it could be an unpopular opinion, but none of these options to me, at the moment anyway, I'm seeing as like a terrible option, or somebody that I just think missed it completely. I think a lot of the performances here, there are very few that are perfect or very close to perfect anyway. But yeah, I'm interested to see whether I will actually decide to put anyone in the terrible position. But without further ado, let's just get straight into it. It looks like these are pretty much in order of the films. It just makes it nice and easy. So we will start off with, of course, Nick Castle. Now, there's only one place really that Nick Castle fits for me, and that is going to be in The Shape. You know, he's the original. He is what all these performances were based off of. So yeah, he has to be up there for me. There's not really much more of an explanation needed other than, you know, he is the original Michael Myers, and, you know, a lot of the mannerisms and the things we like about Michael are all done by him. Next up, we have got Dick Warlock, of course, Michael Myers in Halloween 2. Another great performance. This one, to me, it's out of the top two. I don't know if I can give him The Shape quite. It's very difficult because it is a performance that has really grown on me. I think I've said it in multiple videos now, but when I was younger, I wasn't too keen on his performance as Michael. I thought he was a little too slow for me and robotic, but as I've kind of grown up and come back to the films more often, that's actually become a lot more creepier to me than I originally found it. And I think the way that he does move, you know, especially through that hospital, I think it's very creepy. And Halloween 2 is now one of my favorites because of Michael's performance, and Dick Warlock's performance, sorry. But for now, I think I'm going to put him in almost perfect. I'm not going to quite give him The Shape yet unless we see some stuff that warrants it in a moment. But yeah, I'm going to keep him there for now, leading us on to, obviously, somebody that played Michael in 2 of these films, but he is listed just the once on here, so we'll figure that one out. But George P. Wilbur and his performances then of Michael, let's say. I think George P. Wilbur did a very good job. I think especially for me in Halloween 6, I think that Michael Myers portrayal was very good, very intimidating just by the look as well. So it's very difficult because then on the flip side, Halloween 4, while it is one of my favorites, I do think there are times where I kind of like, when you're watching Michael move and stuff, it's a bit like, you know, it's the look as well that does it for me. Obviously the mask and the like hockey pad type things here. Yeah, that I'm not so much a fan of. So I think for George P. Wilbur, I'm going to put him in It Was Okay. I feel like that might be putting him a little lower than I want to, but I can't put him at almost perfect. And that leads us on to Don Shanks, obviously, Halloween 5, Michael Myers. This may be the first one that is not great. It's not one that I'm keen on. Again, unfortunately, a lot of this ranking is kind of to do with the look of Michael as well, because, you know, that does add to it, the visual, because obviously Michael doesn't speak. It's all mannerisms and how he looks when he's doing things, and the costume design is a big part of that. So for me, Halloween 5, just because I'm not personally a fan of it, I'm going to have to put it in the not great, and I do think it's going to stay there. I don't think it's terrible, but, you know, I don't think it was very good, to put it simply. So yeah, Don Shanks is unfortunately going to go there. And then for Halloween 6, we actually have Michael Lerner, who did play Michael for a little bit in Halloween 6, obviously alongside George P. Wilbur. And for that one, I'm going to also put that in It Was Okay, because it's kind of the same opinion that I do have. I'm not entirely sure in what scenes each actor's playing who. Unfortunately, I do have a little bit of a harder time like ranking George P. Wilbur and Michael Lerner individually for Halloween 6, but it kind of just averages out to there if I'm honest. Next up, guys, we have got Chris Durand, who obviously plays Michael Myers in Halloween H2O. This one is probably going to be in the It Was Okay as well. I think there are certain scenes where Chris Durand moves really well. I think especially that shot, which it's like from a lower angle, as Michael's kind of coming down the school hallway. I think that one is brilliant. But I also do think there are times in that film where Michael can look maybe a little bit dumb and kind of confused. I don't quite know how to describe that, but I think it's also to do with the eye holes just being a little too big. I think we see a little bit too much into Michael's expression under the mask, which I'm not too much of a fan of. So for this one, I am going to put it in It Was Okay, because I do prefer it to Halloween 5, if I'm honest. Brad Loree, the Michael Myers of Halloween Resurrection, where am I going to put him? Oh, this is difficult because he doesn't necessarily do much wrong. He's a little bit robotic in this one for me. Like a little bit more close to the Halloween 2 one, where it seems like Michael's moves are very slow and calculated. Yeah, if I'm honest, it just kind of reminds me of a mixture of H2O and Halloween 2. Halloween 2 done a lot better though. With that being said, I'm gonna put it in It Was Okay. Yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave it for now anyway, as we move on to Tyler Mane. Now, Tyler Mane obviously plays Michael Myers in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2007 and 2009, and there is no doubt in my mind that Tyler Mane plays a scary, scary serial killer and a scary, scary portrayal as well of Michael. But I think in terms of it being a Michael Myers portrayal, I think with some of the growling that he does, obviously he speaks in this one, I am going to put it in not great. And I know some of you guys may think that doesn't make too much sense when like Resurrection and H2O are above it. But I'm not looking at this in terms of scary. I'm looking at this in terms of like, you know, moving like Michael Myers, acting like Michael Myers. And I just think Tyler Mane's is a little too aggressive. It's a little too like Jason Voorhees. So I think we did kind of lose like the Shape and Michael in them films. So for me, they're not great. They're very scary portrayals, but they're not very good portrayals of Michael Myers and The Shape. However, quite the opposite, James Dew Courtney is our next option. Obviously, in the trilogy, he plays Michael Myers, the new one that we did get. And, you know, I've made multiple videos on how impressive James Dew Courtney was, in my opinion. And for me, he has to go up in The Shape. I see him and Nick Castle, like, working on the same level. James Dew Courtney, obviously, being a stuntman as well, and you know, kind of being aware of how to move and use the body, I guess, or I imagine he is anyway. He just picked up on the mannerisms, the movement so perfectly. And I actually think at times, James Dew Courtney almost sharpened the tools that Nick Castle kind of gave out, and he made them even better. So there are times where, like, I actually prefer James Dew Courtney's Michael Myers to the original. I just think James Dew Courtney perfected it, especially in those first two films of the trilogy. Obviously, Halloween Ends a little bit more of a different story, but yeah, he just absolutely smashed it in my opinion. And obviously, speaking of the trilogy as well, moving on, for our final pick, we've got Aaron Armstrong. You know, the flashback in Halloween Kills that he does is ridiculous. It's amazing. Very similar to James Dew Courtney. It was like he picked up what made Nick Castle's Michael Myers so good and what the fans all loved so much, and he ran with it again. You can tell he, you know, learned from those two, but also he did play Michael Myers in a fan film like years prior, if you guys want to check that out. So it's not his first time playing Michael, and there is obviously, it seems like a little bit of an interest there. So he did it respectably, and I do want to put him in The Shape, but because we didn't get, we still haven't got to see enough of him yet, I'm going to put it in Almost Perfect, alongside Halloween 2, because I'm sure he could be up there one day, but I would love to see him get his chance where he can have, like, be Michael for a whole film. I think that would be incredible. But yeah, guys, that is my ranking list. I don't think I want to really move any of these. I'm pretty happy. I will quickly just delete this row here just because I guess there's not really a point in it. But yeah, this is going to be my list. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think to this list. Let me know some things you'd swap around, what your list would be. Make sure, guys, you have a look at one of my previous videos. It's a couple videos back now, but I am doing a giveaway. It ends on October 31st, Halloween. It is for a 4K 1978 Halloween steelbook. Anyone can enter. It doesn't matter where in the world you are. Just go onto that video, find out how to enter. It's really easy. You literally just have to essentially comment under the video or do it through my Instagram, which the instructions are all on Instagram as well. So yeah, make sure you do enter, guys. That is literally all you have to do, and you're in with a chance. It doesn't matter where you are, you can win. And yeah, that'll all be getting announced on Halloween, which is not very long away now. It's like 10 days away right now, 11 days even. So yeah, things are getting interesting. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.